Hello, CraftingMantis here, and welcome back to another episode on the Diamond Society server. So I've built a little bridge from the shopping district right over there. So it's just, a real simple design because I need to be able to integrate it from the prismarine to what we're going to be doing over here. And so I wanted to do something relatively simple, and then that way we could try to integrate it somehow. Not sure how I'm going to do that, and plus I don't want to fully integrate it until I actually make it to this ring. So we will see how that works. And then under here I'm going to be putting 2 of the pillars. So just like that, I'm going to be putting the pillars up there, but I haven't quite gotten to that yet. Definitely been struggling with design work and stuff like that. So I'm still working out designs for the walls and all of that, because I also need to get some kind of stairway to come down, as well as some way to get up into the AFK platform for those who don't have wings or don't have rockets, or that way people can just come there and hop up, and actually get over there. So the one thing that I wanted to show you guys before I started, actual work on this is the color palette. Now, it may seem a little strange. It's definitely not something I would normally kind of put together. However, in the writings of Plato, it discussed how they made Atlantis, and it said that there was red stone, there was white stone, and there was black stone. Well, we don't have any black blocks that have like slabs and stairs, so we're going to go gray. And so with the granite, the diorite, and the cobblestone, those are kind of like more broken up stuff. And then the regular terracotta goes really well with the granite. And then I'm thinking maybe quartz. I don't know if I really want to go mining that much for quartz, but we have the quartz and then the stone, and then kind of like accent blocks. We got the gravel, we got sandstone and all its variations. I'll probably use a lot of the smooth sandstone, and then that is brown terracotta. So the same thing that I used in the shopping district over there. And then for the wood, we have oak, birch, and spruce. I didn't want to go any darker than that. And then, acacia wouldn't really work with this. Let's see, there's dark oak and jungle. Yeah, jungle would be, is a little off for this. Now, one of the other things that it described in the channels around, where the water is, because like this is going to be a landmass. So the center circle is a landmass. So this is going to be water. It says that they lined it in brass and tin and orthalcum, or it's a metal that no longer exists. Supposedly it only existed in the area of Atlantis, but that was a red tinted metal. And so I'm like, okay, well, redstone, or we could even go with like the red wool to, because I don't know if I actually want to like use this much, because I mean these circles are huge. So I might want to look more at like red wool. Not sure how I would replace the iron, and then maybe yellow for, or we could even go concrete, like white concrete, red concrete, and yellow concrete to kind of emulate the metals, because I mean, like I said, it's going to take a lot of it in order to cover these. Maybe not so much for this inner circle, but yeah, that circle out there and the wood, the farthest one over there, it's going to take a lot. And I still have to kind of do some research, because I don't think it actually specified which channels were covered in which. I'll have to go back through and read that again to kind of get an idea. And then there were basically 4 land masses. So there were 4 brothers. But each of the land masses is going to have a color. So the center one, so this one right here, the house color is actually going to be black. And then we're going to have the green is going to go with whichever channel has the red. and then the light blue for whichever one has the tin, and purple to go with the brass. So complementary colors and all of that. And I really like the light blue with white, and so that's the reason why I went with that. And then, the black, because I'm thinking of doing the center island here with the quartz and stuff. For one, it's the smallest island. And so it's probably going to take up the least amount of materials, and so I might use that here. We'll definitely have to see, though. Technically, this is supposed to be a, like a palace type thing, though we don't have that much space to actually go up. So it's going to be interesting to try to design this. But the next step in terms of getting this prep, for one, we need to add in actual ground here. And then we need to dig this out. That is going to be the biggest problem. I'm still deciding what to do about this, because one of the things that I was seeing was actually, go ahead and leave the hill and kind of shape stuff around that, because Atlantis originally was up in the air, and so it sunk. Well, not really up in the air, but above water, and it sunk. And so as it sinks, you would think that it would hit the masses underneath the ocean, and it would kind of disrupt buildings. And so, like where this hill is, whatever was above ground would come down, hit that, and kind of bulge out. It wouldn't necessarily land somewhere flat. And so I'm weighing whether or not I want to actually do that. It would definitely make things really interesting. So yeah, definitely weighing that right now. But we have, this one is going to be water too. This circle here. But we have this, this ravine right here, and I really like the depth of this. This is 15 blocks, basically down, down to this level here. This is 15 blocks deep. And so what I need to do in each one of the water channels is dig down 15 blocks. So that is going to make things interesting. That is going to be a lot of digging. I'm probably going to need to move the beacon at some point. Luckily, it looks like I might here. Let's get out here and see. No, it's going down, so that means it doesn't reach quite out this far. But I should be good at least for this initial around. And so, like I had said before, I'm going to be working in, in sections. And so I want to work on this one and this outer ring, the water ring around it first before moving on to the other ones. So I am going to get to work on clearing this out, and then I will see you guys on the other side. All right, so the first ravine is officially dug. Yay! Awesome! So now the next step for this is to actually design the walls for this. I'm gonna have to figure out which metal this was, and then that way I can kind of come up with a color palette, because it might be the red. And then I was looking at my stores of metals and stuff, and yeah, gold is definitely not one of the things that I have a huge supply of. So I might end up having to go with one of the cheaper blocks to kind of emulate gold. But we'll kind of get there once I figure out a design and stuff, because I am definitely not coating this entire area in gold or iron or redstone, which is kind of the way that it was described, that they coated the outside with it, because they were that rich of a country. So, but as you can also notice, we now have a solid platform up here of stone, because we are actually going to be building on top of the stone. That's not zero level, I guess you could call it. This is actually -1. So we'll actually be building on top of this. And so I still need to figure out how to do like the landscaping and stuff, because I don't think grass does really well this far underwater. I've seen grass stay grass before, when it was maybe 1 or 2 blocks, but yeah, I don't think it's going to do so well down here. But I'll have to do some testing and stuff on that, and kind of kind of see what to do in terms of trying to get some greenery and stuff going on in here. Now, one of the things that I did find out while I was digging out this ravine is that my storage over in the farmhouse is definitely inadequate for this many resources. So today we are going to move away from setting stuff up, and we are actually going to start a storage unit because I have stuff everywhere. I've got stuff over at the Guardian farm. I've got stuff at the farmhouse. I've got stuff down here. I've also got a whole bunch of resources and stuff over at the shopping district. And so I am spread out all over the place with no central area to actually keep anything. So that is what we are going to do now. So if we come down here, I've dug this area out here. Now this is a bit taller than what the actual storage unit is going to be, because what I want to do is actually leave space up on top so that if in the future I decide to actually do some automation and whatnot, then I have space to do that up there, as well as, being able to fully see what is going on. So I can, design anything that I need to from on top of that. So, and then this water column is actually going to go away. I'm going to put in some kind of elevators, probably in one of the corners. I don't necessarily want to do that as of yet until I actually kind of get an idea of what's going to be going on upstairs, because they'll end up going into some kind of building in the palace. So I don't want to build the elevators and realize, I'm going right into a wall. So that definitely wouldn't be good. Now, the design for the storage room here is actually inspired by the one that MollusSlime ended up doing in the Realm of Bastion Season 4 area, Anduir's Rest. Now, I have severely changed it, but it is inspired by her build. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I would love to send you guys over to go, see some of the marvelous stuff that she's doing. But yeah, she is an absolute fantastic builder. So I am going to get to work on adding all of this lovely stuff in here. I got a little complicated on the wall or on the floors, and so I want to kind of put those together off camera, because trying to figure out which way stairs are going to be facing on camera is not going to be good for me. So I am going to get to work on getting this in place, and then once I get some progress, then I will bring you guys back. So up here is the storage room. So this is where I've been mining. I ended up clearing out everything, as you can see, but moving. As you can see, I've already cleared out all the chests that were up here, and I had a whole bunch of the shulker boxes kind of full of all kinds of stuff. These are fishies. I've been collecting fishies. I'm thinking about doing an aquarium at some point, somewhere in here. So we come up here. We have the storage area. So we got a cool little design in the floor. We've got the stone brick stairs with the water channels going through it, and then the andesite blocks, the polished andesite. And then we've got oak on the sides here, as well as, the first block for the different entrances. And then using all different kinds of the stone brick variants and stuff around the outside. And then I was kind of playing around with the glazed terracotta, because I haven't really used the glazed terracotta before. Every once in a while, a block here, a block there. But I kind of wanted to play around with it a little bit, and I really like this. It adds a nice little feature to the center here, and then, like I had said before, there's going to be a fountain here once I move the transport up and down to a different location. So this will be, a nice little fountain here, and then there's lights in here, so it gives off light. And then I, played around with a little bit on the roof. And so this is the gray terracotta, gray glazed terracotta, and this is the blue glazed terracotta. And then we got the andesite, slabs and stuff up there again. And we got these nice crossbars and stuff. And then taking advantage of the lighting for 1.14 using the lanterns. I really love the lanterns. I'm so glad that they added it, because we definitely needed a small, more versatile lamp or light source. But yeah, and then we've also got the gray glazed terracotta kind of hidden behind. So the same technique I had used in the pillars in the shopping district, But this time, instead of lighting, we're actually using kind of a decorative block in there. And the great thing is that if we come up here and get blighted, we have full access up here and plenty of space in here. So that if, again, we want to do anything up here, then it is definitely easily accessible, very lit up. And there's also a ravine over here that, I could take advantage of at some point as well. But let's go ahead and head down here, and there we go. And I also ended up doing one of the rooms. I'm still trying to decide what each of these, because like the corners and the centers here, they're actually going to be entrances into, different things. And I haven't quite figured out which one, which of these are going to be going off to where. And then I also need to figure out all of the storage, because as you can see, I've already started kind of adding in the different, the different blocks and pieces of different things, and adding them in. Basically, a lot of this stuff ended up coming from downstairs, except for, like the wood and some of the mob drops. But yeah, most of these are from, actually going through either building this or mining downstairs. So we've already got, like granite and diorite and, all of this wonderful stuff. But yeah, and then in here we've got these, and oh yeah, I forgot I had some iron smelting in here. But we've got the 2 smokers and then 2 of the blast furnaces. We've got the grinders kind of hanging up here, and then we got extra storage in here. So this is for books, for bows, and for fishing rods. And then I'm going to have a spot out here for, other gear, like armor and weapons and weapons other than bows, and then tools as well. And then we've got 2 anvils and a level 30 enchanting table. Granted, I don't really need it right now. I mean, I've got 2 sets of picks. I don't have 2 sets of these yet. And then I ended up making a whole bunch of armor before we updated to 1.14.4, I think, is when the really, really awesome armor ended up getting removed. But yeah, so the grindstones are in order to get enchantments off, and then anvils in order to combine stuff and all of that. So yeah. Oh, and then over here we've got the stone cutter and a crafting table. Granted, I may end up changing this out because these really don't go with this, but it works. It's close to, kind of what we would be using, because, you got the blocks over here, and so a stone cutter is easily accessible. And then, the crafting table. Always have a crafting table near your enchanting table. That way you can end up making more tools and all of that. So yeah, so that is the storage room. As complete as it's going to be, I need to go through and I need to grab all the stuff over in the farmhouse and bring that over here. And, kind of figure out what storage needs I have, and then kind of go from there. Because I may change, some of these into, like, little storage rooms, instead of off to, like, some kind of farm or something along those lines. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, definitely hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, then definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified as to when I put out additional content, then definitely hit that notification bell. But for now, I'm going to call it, and I will see you guys in the next episode.